we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
That's right, folks. Absolutely free. Head over to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use promo code Oreo. They have a great selection of a lot of things that I think you'll like. So head over to MyPillow.com. It's great to have a partnership with them. And when you purchase from them, you're purchasing from a Patriot company, America First, and you're helping us out here as well at the Oreo Express. So welcome back, folks. Welcome back. I think it's still Tuesday, July 15th. It is. Check that out. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about. We got Trump in Pennsylvania. He's touting more business, more economic gains for the United States, which we love to see. We didn't get to see this for 4 years. So instead, we got to see these bills, Inflation Reduction Act bills that just cost us a lot of money and a lot of inflation. We also got new border numbers dropping. Again, month after month, the border remains to be almost perfectly sealed. And it's amazing because we were told for a long time that it would take an act of Congress. And all it took was a president who cares about the American people, cares about our sovereignty, and is keeping his promise on what he was elected to do. So we're going to talk about that. We also got some crazy clown world stuff. I'm telling you, we need to end trans terror, guys. Every time we hear Molotov cocktail or somebody trying to burn down a Tesla dealership or a GOP office, it's always a whacked out crazy, you've guessed it, T in the LGBT. It's just insane. And you know, here we're awake, not woke. So again, thank you for tuning in. Let me jump into the chat really quick. We got JH Candy Bar. Hunter's in the house. Check that out, Hunter. Susan K. Spencer is in the house. Let's see. Sugar Bear. Let's see. Going down. Where are we going? It's freezing on me. Give me a second. Jay Keeps Asking is in the house. Hello, Jay Keeps Asking. Glad you made it. And then we got Trina in the house. Welcome, Trina. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your mod support. KLM 79, Micro Taz. Let's see. Cade Texas made it. Let me get down here. First Amendment Media, Penny Loafer Matt's in the house. Let's see. Texas Real Woman made it in here. Let me get down to the bottom, see if anybody else. Jay Lynn's in the house. Thank you guys. Barry D. Patriots in the house. Saint Fan. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Every time you hit that thumbs up, it makes me smile. So hit that thumbs up if you want a smiling guy on the podcast today. Now, it helps us out a lot because then it's recommended to other folks, helps out the algorithm, and it helps us grow. It helps us grow. So yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of exciting stuff. Lots of exciting stuff. It's a warm one today here in the Central Valley. Let me see what the weather is right now. I still got to get my phone fixed. I haven't taken care of my phone, so I'm on this dumb backup phone right now. Let's see, weather. It's only 100. It's only 100. So if it's 100 at 3, it'll probably be 102 today. So, but I took a dip in the pool. I did take a dip in the pool. I was in the pool for like 10 minutes. Caden and Penny, man, that pug is an absolute fish. Can't keep her out of the water. I'll have to put up some video. I'll have to remember tomorrow to put up some video. But anywhere Caden goes, that dog goes. I even upset Rachel a little bit because Rachel just loves that dog, right? That was her birthday present. And I said, you know what? I'm thinking that Caden is that dog's human. Wherever Caden goes, that dog is right there following him. And those two will wrestle in the living room. They'll run. Like if he takes off running, that dog's right behind him. Just a perfect match right there. And so he's been busy in the pool with Caden. She has been busy in the pool with Caden. I can't misgender my dogs. Holy cow. Maybe my dog identifies as something else. You never know. We haven't had that conversation yet. She's 9 months old, 10 months old. That's old enough to have that talk, right? If you're a Democrat. So let's take a listen here. This is POTUS in Pittsburgh. Take a listen to some of the stuff, the reason why he was down there in Pittsburgh, and it's just always more good news.
We're here today because we believe that America's is to dominate every industry and be the first in every technology. And that includes being the world's #1 superpower in artificial intelligence. And we are way ahead of China. I have to say, we're way ahead of China. And the plants are starting up, the construction's starting up. And did you notice that 2 days ago, they just announced that they had a budget surplus of $25 billion in this country? Right, Howard? They never saw anything like that. Everyone would say, where did that's been like decades. 25 billion, and that's peanuts compared to what it's, and it's good business practices. The tariffs are coming in by the hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're really at the infant stage right now. It's only on cars and steel mostly, and the rest is starting to kick in. We're here today because we believe that America's...
That was at the Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation Summit, where Trump
just to dominate every industry.
AI is a big industry that we need to dominate.
Every leader
dominate. He also said about an investment. And again, we didn't see a whole lot of investments under Biden. If anything, again, they keep saying that Republicans are for the rich elites, and you hear this constantly. Trump's budget is for billionaires. You know who really made out under Joe Biden was billionaires. You know whose real wages didn't go up? Me and you, the American people. So I think that's very critical for people to understand and realize. But let's take a listen to this right here. Oh, there it is.
Leader said, no matter where, they all said the same thing to me, some of them separately, but it's the same words, just about. He said, it's amazing. 1 year ago, you had a dead country. We were dead. We didn't think you could ever come back. And now today you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's true. It's true. So we're back in Pittsburgh to announce the largest package of investments in the history of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And it's not even close. I don't imagine it's too close. I don't think second is too close. That's a big statement. This afternoon, 20 leading technology and energy companies are announcing more than $92 billion of investments in Pennsylvania. And if you want, we could probably get them up. Let's talk to them right now. But this is a really triumphant day for the people of the Commonwealth and for the United States of America. We're doing things that nobody ever thought possible. As of about a month and a half ago, when we came back from the Middle East, we came back with $5.1 trillion of investments from the three countries that I mentioned, and they're great people, great leaders of those countries. But we came back with many, many planes that they are going to build through Boeing. They came back with a package of goods that were, nobody's seen. I don't think anybody's seen $5.1 trillion. And we are now at about 16, think of this, $16 trillion. And we're at a little bit less than 6 months, but really we're probably at 3 months because it took me a little time to get started, right? So in 3.5, 4 months, let's say, we have about $16 trillion. There's never been anything like that in history. You can go for years and they didn't have numbers like that. And if you look at the last administration, you had negative numbers. You didn't have positive numbers. You're going in the wrong direction. But we have the hottest country, and we're going to keep it that way. Today's commitments are ensuring that the future is going to be designed, built, and made right here in Pennsylvania and right here in Pittsburgh. And I have to say right here in the United States of America.
Right here in the United States of America, and that's what we want. $92 billion in investment in Pennsylvania. That's 20 leading technology and energy companies. Again, these investments are huge. They make for jobs that pay real wages. Again, Democrats want Taco Bell to pay $35 an hour for rolling a damn burrito. Entry-level position. And I'm not bashing anybody that works at fast food or anything like that. So don't take it like that. But what I am saying is you got to have some fight and drive in you. That's not going to be the answer to raising a family, putting money in the savings. That's the scrape by. What's funny is when I was growing up, it was a little different. Democrats didn't look at fast food as a means to support a family of 4 or 5. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think the 80s is what I'm talking about. There was a lot of retirees supplementing their income working at fast food, and like me, I got a job at Taco Bell. A lot of teenagers, people going to college. That's what it consisted of. I could tell you when I worked at Taco Bell, I was 15 years old. Minimum wage was $4.25 an hour. And most of the people I worked with, I was 15, was probably within 5 years of me, or we had people that were retired, a couple people that were retired, and it was their supplemental income. But not anymore. Not anymore. Hey, speaking of Clown World, I love the way Jasmine Crockett explains this. It's critical. It's critical that we fund Sesame Street in Iraq, right? Take a listen to this. How they're oh my gosh, this is just hilarious. There is people that fall for this though. Take a listen.
To talk about whether or not Sesame Street or anything else that's on NPR or PBS ends up in other places. This is so that there is not this warped thought process about the Western world or about the United States. We're talking about making sure that we don't end up allowing people to be radicalized against us because they have a terrible vision of us, because they may be in a government that actually puts out bad, terrible propaganda about us.
So Sesame Street in Iraq is going to save...
When you start to talk about whether or not...
save their children from hating us, in other words. So I can tell you this now. None of the stuff that was played over there was America positive. I think we know that. It was publicly funded. We know what the CEOs and the folks at NPR and PBS, we know where they lean. We played that video for you the other day that was quite interesting, that showed kind of like what PBS was when we were kids versus what PBS is now. When we were kids, it was, what was that guy's name? Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. And he says, boys are boys, girls are girls. And you can't change that. You wouldn't see that on PBS today. Instead, you see drag queens and other stuff like that. So, again, this is that push to spend your taxpayer dollars in Iraq and foreign countries to push something that is subsidized by you, the taxpayer, that we do not need. Guess what? Let's stay out of their lives. Let's not get involved in Iraq or anything else. And if they like us, they like us. If they don't, they don't. We're not going to be able to control that with Sesame Street. Just not going to happen. Check this out. Phooey. This one was from I Mean, Therefore I Am. And again, trans terror. You guys know it was 4 or 5 weeks ago, Trans Tifa attacked me when I was with my family, just sitting at a stoplight because we had protested for a couple hours. We had protested a boy competing against girls at the CIF state championships. And take a look at this video, and then you won't be surprised of the person who did it. It says, this is from I Mean, Therefore I Am, and we got some other video clips. It says, a 19-year-old has been arrested for a failed Molotov cocktail attack on the Republican headquarters in Michigan. The suspect, Zane Edward Arkand, allegedly threw an unlit Molotov cocktail at a building that houses several businesses, including a local GOP office. Surveillance footage shows him hurling the bottle, which shattered on impact but failed to ignite. The second broken bottle, containing a rag and an unknown liquid, was later found in the parking lot. It says that person was later identified and arrested. According to police, he admitted to making and throwing the devices as a way to send a message against corruption. Here's that video here. Broad daylight. Look at that. Looks like he's trying to light it. People are so brazen. Well, he's got one thing down. He does run like a girl. Oh, that's so sexist. What else do we got on this one? The dude pretending to be a girl. Here it is. According to his bio, sexually fluid, gender fluid, autistic, bipolar, emo goth with he, they, she pronouns. Man, this is, woo, keep RW away from this one. RW all up on this one. I know it. I know it. That is the picture of terrorism in this country. It's the picture that we have seen through all the Tesla firebombings, through all these acts of extreme violence. And when you think about it, a lot of some of these school shootings and stuff now, nobody identifies as the sex that they are. It's crazy. How about this? I'm reading this right here. Yeah, there's definitely.
I realized.
There's definitely an RW one. Have your speakers up on this one because it's very low.
I have realized I am sexually fluid, gender fluid, ambiamorous, and also my social identity besides my sexual orientation and gender identity and, you know, all that other stuff. And it all fluctuates. So, you know, sometimes, you know, the gender identity part, like, I have a few aspects that fluctuate in prominence, which some of them themselves are fluid aspects of gender identity. And one of them, sometimes for a few weeks, sometimes to a few months, stops at female gender identity, one of them doesn't. I have realized.
That's more than food dyes. I'll tell you that right now. That's more than chemicals. That's more than a weed killer. That is the devil. Man, these people. It's just a crazy, crazy time we live in. And it's absolutely scary. It really is. These people, I watched another video. I seen two other ones today. One was in the United States, and I think one was in the UK. I should have saved him. I didn't bookmark him. I meant to. But one was again a trans person, if you will, that didn't like what someone was wearing. I think that one was in the United States, and just went up and hit the person like broad daylight with families and everything around, just the entitled people. Where's my equality? I should be able to hit you and get away with it. No, we need to make mental institutions great again. That's the only thing we could do. How about this one? We covered this one when it happened. When was this? Man, it was, I can't remember. But Nicole Mitchell, the Democrat out of Minnesota senator, was arrested for felony burglary. Nicole was reportedly caught in her stepmother's basement at 4:45 in the morning with a crowbar, intending to retrieve disputed property. She faces up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. This was her mugshot, if you remember the story that we covered back then. And today, her trial began. So as part of that, they released some of that body cam footage, and I want to play it from Fox 9 did it. This is newly released body cam footage that shows the moment police arrested Minnesota Senator Nicole Mitchell for first-degree burglary charges. She looks like a prowler, too. Check this out.
Get on the ground. Hands behind your back. There's a back to the table. That's all, 451.
Carol? Yeah? It's Nicole. It's Nicole?
Oh, no, come on.
I was just trying to get a couple of my dad's things because he wouldn't talk to me anymore.
She stole documents. I don't know. She's my stepdaughter.
I didn't steal any documents. How did I steal documents?
Cool, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
You had your aunt Nancy do it.
30 Becker Route
No one
1015.
did anything.
Was there Nicole Mitchell in the house? Stand up. Check it.
No one
On you?
stole anything here, Carol. I don't have anything on
Take her out
me.
if you want to talk to her.
Not tonight.
Got anything on you?
No. I have a flashlight. That's it.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, transitioning right here for 1015. 10-4 or 10-15. Becker, you can clear 10-33. 10-4 clear, 10-33 at 452. And I see a Nicole Mitchell in house. Is it Mitchell?
Mitchell.
Mitchell? Mitchell. What's your date of birth?
10-4,
not finding one then.
So that trial started today. We'll keep tabs on that. She is a senator, and it appeared to be a white liberal senator. So we'll see how that goes. But at 4:00 in the morning with a crowbar and a flashlight, man, you're up to no good. If you got a flashlight and a crowbar at 4 in the morning, you're already a criminal in my eyes. Trying to think, I've never had a crowbar and a flashlight at 4 a.m. in somebody else's house that I wasn't wanted in, unless I would have been a criminal, right? How about this one? We're going to move on just a little bit. We had a detransitioner in testifying today. SB 497 in California turns California into a sanctuary state for child sterilization, and hiding medical records from states trying to protect kids. You know, just like when the abortion thing happened, Gavin says, you know what, let's use our tax dollars, the hardworking people of California, because we got so much money in California. Let's use that money to fly these people in, get them hotels so they can have their abortion. And I'm not kidding you. Well, SB 497, I want you to look at this and listen to this person. It's sad. It really is. It's what the big pharma, the medical industrial complex has done to our youth, all in the name of profit. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Layla Jane. I'm a detransitioner. Last time I testified in opposition to this bill, Senator Wiener claimed that what happened to me is rare, that there is a moral panic, that only a microscopic number of children are undergoing gender interventions, and that anyone who is saying otherwise is a liar. Look at my chest. I matter. At the age of 12,
She says, look at my chest. I matter. Hold on. I'm going to have to refresh that.
Hello, my name is Layla Jane. I'm a detransitioner. Last time I testified in opposition to this bill, Senator Wiener claimed that what happened to me is rare, that there is a moral panic, that only a microscopic number of children are undergoing gender interventions, and that anyone who is saying otherwise is a liar. Look at my chest. I matter. At the age of 12, I was approved for a double mastectomy, and I went under the knife a couple weeks after I turned 13. Listen to my voice. Testosterone did this. My vocal cords are so large, I can't scream. I have difficulty speaking sometimes. Don't you dare trivialize what happened to me and lie to Californians that this isn't happening. I am one of thousands, and this bill is designed to hide the ever-growing number of kids being poisoned, sterilized, and maimed. Young females ages 12 to 17 having their breasts removed increased 13-fold between 2013 and 2020, and continues to increase. The number of children ages 6 to 17 placed on puberty blockers and hormones over a 5-year period more than doubled to 1,400 and 4,200 respectively. And those stats don't include my provider, Kaiser, the biggest chop shop on the West Coast. These are not microscopic numbers. Don't blame my parents who were coerced into consenting because puberty blockers, testosterone, and surgeries were the only treatment offered to address my cutting, suicidal ideation, and inability to function. Not one provider explored my autistic traits. Not one stepped in to consider if my childhood sexual abuse was the reason I wanted to shed my female body. Not one said your daughter is perfect the way she is. Now that would be considered hateful. This bill is designed to protect medical providers who harmed me and are harming other children who run away to this state under SB 107 or who violate safeguarding laws in their own states. All of you should be panicked and ashamed as you sit in silence or look at me with venom. Vote no.
Sad, man. It's sad. Again, as a young child, she was sexually abused. And she said nobody even wanted to consider that I wanted to shed my female body because of that. This is very common in rape cases, child rape cases. You know, what's interesting is when they would actually talk, when we were in San Francisco, and we would have them on the camera, what is it, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, most of them would admit to severe trauma as a child. And again, she says that the doctors didn't look at any other characteristics, just said, no, you know what, we'll give you puberty blockers and we'll cut off your breasts. I mean, that is child abuse. I think those people should be held accountable. I want to see those people in jail. Again, we need to fix what's wrong up here, not start cutting off body parts. This is one of the craziest things that's happened in my lifetime. And we need to be there to help support the people that are against like groomer Scott Wiener. Just disgusting. We cover him all the time. How that person, you know, I gotta watch what I say right now. I gotta watch what I say. But I just think it's disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting. I mean, I've never seen Scott Wiener get behind a bill that was Americana or actually right for our youth. Again, wanting to hide from parents, our own attorney general, our own governor, who's trying to back that up now, back up from that actually. Wanting to hide these children that are in that person's condition and want to hide from the parents. The teachers are saying, you know what, you can be a boy. Yeah, you can be a boy. We'll call you Bob. You want to be called Bob? We can do it. Like, man, I don't know how there hasn't been some vigilante parents in this state or in this country that said, guess what? We're going to play ball now, because it would have been 100% justify if you abuse a child. And it's just insane. So check this out. How many remember this? This was, I think this happened when me and Matt were down there in DC. I think my recollection is correct. Remember this guy that went on a little shooting rampage, kind of a weird story, dressed as kind of a security guard police officer, went and killed some senators' family. And then it started coming out. This guy worked for Tim Walsh. And they said, oh, he's MAGA. He's MAGA. Well, they released, this is the guy that they're saying is MAGA, by the way. He's literally got a resist shirt on with somebody that has a shirt that says, I think, therefore I am Democrat. So, yeah, that seems like real MAGA. I know y'all see me wearing a resist shirt, and I think, therefore, I am a Democrat. Well, this is going to be interesting. His letter, his confession letter, has been released following his federal indictment. His name was Vance Boetler, and I'm going to read it to you. I want to put it up on the screen right here and read it to you. Tell me what you think, and then ask yourself, if you change the names to, let's say, Tim Walsh to a Republican or Elon Musk or Donald Trump, what do you think you would be hearing about on the news all night? Take a listen. This was his letter. Dear Kash Patel, my name is Dr. Vance Boetler. I am a shooter at large in Minnesota involved in the June 12th shootings, which happened in the early mornings of Saturday, June 13, sometimes between approximately 2:30 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. I will probably be dead by the time you read this letter. I wanted to share some information with you that you might find interesting. I was told by U.S. military people on the lakes during my release. I have been on many operations since then in Eastern Europe, North America, the Middle East, and Africa, all in the line of duty, doing what I believed was right and in the best interest of the United States. Recently, I was approached about a project that Tim Walsh wanted done. Amy Klobuchar and Tina Keith were involved. I was originally aware of the project, but Tim wanted me to kill Amy Klobuchar and Tina Keith to force a planned retirement. Tim wants to be center and didn't trust them to retire as planned. With Amy gone, Tim would stay in at the last minute, get one of the open Senate seats, and someone named Elkin would be rewarded with a large government contract. I told Tim I wasn't willing to do it. I said if he didn't call off the plan, I would go public. He said he would call it off, but instead he set up murders, including one involving someone named Jan, Mel, and others. Get the dark types when I moved. They had some people trying to kill me. I was able to get away by God's mercy. I went back a short time later and shot several of them. You should note, I didn't fire a single round at any peace officers. I had plenty of opportunity, but I didn't take it. Ask for the report on how many weapons and how much ammunition I had on me. When the cops pulled up right next to me in their vehicles, I had an AK pistol aimed right at their heads. I could have left a pile of cops dead, but I didn't shoot. You can ask them yourself. I support law enforcement. That's why I spared them. But if they come after my wife and kids next time, I won't give them a pass. I want you to get on the phone and tell Tim Walsh you have a few questions. Then ask him if he knows me. If he says no, that he never met me, go look at the files. You'll see that Tim Walsh personally groomed me and put me in on his governor's task force board as a business representative. He's now trying to destroy me for his public record. Ask Tim why they kept SWAT incidents silent from the media when they first happened. Not a word to the press. Why? Because they needed to get their story straight. They didn't want anyone on the same page about what happened. Tim's probably crapping bricks right now because I'm still at large, and he knows what I can declassify. He knows what I know. I will be shot on sight. You can bet on that, because I know where all the buried skeletons are. If I'm going to turn myself in, it needs to be directly to you, and I need to be held at a military prison near or in the Middle East, or at least on a ship. These guys have turganes everywhere, and I can't get to anybody. I'm willing to spill all the beans. I just want my family safe. They had nothing to do with this and are totally innocent. This was a one-person operation. And there's the letter right there. Kind of crazy. Now, hey, you know what? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but was he working with Tim Walsh? Did Tim groom him a little? Did he go off the deep end because he was worried about himself and his family being murdered? And he was like, I'll do it first. He brought up a valid point. Actually, let me pull up something, because remember, he says in here that an officer pulled up right next to him, and check all the ammunition. I didn't shoot the officer. I had perfect opportunity, and I'll pull this up. I was actually listening to it earlier, so let me pull this up and look at the news reporting on this. Even the news reported that. Let's see. And again, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying it's kind of crazy that the way this is going out. Let me find the news article. Man, it popped up so easier last time.
With the lights on.
Listen.
The New Hope police officer believed that Boetler was a police officer who had been dispatched to Boetler's black SUV parked down the block with the lights on. The New Hope police officer believed that Boetler was a police officer who had been dispatched to the scene to check on the status of the state senator. The New Hope police officer pulled up next to Boetler in his car, rolled down her window, and attempted to speak with him. Boetler did not respond. According to the officer, he just sat there and stared straight ahead. So the New Hope police officer, who had been dispatched to the scene, proceeded to the state senator's home, and she waited for other law enforcement to arrive. When they did, by the time they did, Boetler had left the scene.
So again, man, this is making for a crazy story. I think you guys can see. I'm not saying that anything he's saying is true, but he says, I told Tim Walsh, I wasn't willing to do it. I said if he didn't call off the plan, I would go public. He said he would call it off, but instead he set up murders, including one involving someone named Jan, Mel, and others. Now, this guy could have been just off his rocker. This guy could have lost his mind. Obviously, there are some odd things we covered about the guy. But it makes you wonder, right? Like, I mean, this would make a good novel or a good book at this point, a good movie, because we don't have good movies anymore. They had some people trying to kill me. I was able to get away by God's mercy. I went back a short time later and shot several of them. So let's just say that part of the story is true. This guy was obviously, and this, remember, he wrote this while he was on the run after he committed the murders. No doubt he committed murders. And he should go to jail for that. But I'm just going to tell you something. That was a very, very crazy story. I remember talking to Matt, and I'm like, holy cow. Because I think we woke up, and that was the day that we had to go to the Trump. So we were worried about the military parade. So we were worried about the military parade, nothing else. And then when we got back that night, I'm looking through all this, and I would think it started coming out. Oh, Tim Walz appointed him. And all of a sudden, once that happened, the story disappeared. Have you heard about this? I mean, think about it. You kill a senator, you kill family members, you shoot others, you go to multiple homes. There's a huge manhunt for you, and it's been out of sight, out of mind. This is a strange one, and I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt or anything like that, but this is one. I will be shot on sight. You can bet on that, because I know where the buried skeletons are. Man, I just thought, this was released today. I thought it was pretty huge. Wanted you guys to see it. And then we got something else here. Gavin Newsom in our last show talked about how vaccines save life. And I'm not against vaccines. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or what not to do. However, I am a 100% pure blood when it comes to the mRNA vaccine. I didn't take it. My family didn't take it. We've all had COVID, and we're all probably healthier than we've been in a long time. With that being said, James O'Keefe from O'Keefe Media Group gets the lead scientist at Johnson & Johnson to say the vaccine was not safe and effective, that there was lack of research, and people wanted it. We gave it to them. And I want to play this out. Good job on O'Keefe Media Group, but we're going to play this for you right now.
Research that was done on those products?
Joe Biden says that it's safe and effective, but he didn't know.
There's no proof. I mean, none of that stuff was safe and effective. People wanted it. We gave it to them. It's like, all right, you know what? Cancer patient's going to die anyway. I'm sure somebody's going to get sued for that stuff eventually.
Hi, Josh. Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
And you said that your vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. Deep inside Johnson & Johnson's global machine is a scientist, a lead scientist, whose very approval or disapproval can change millions of American lives. Meet Joshua Rees, a lead regulatory scientist at Johnson & Johnson. Joshua, in his role, leads the creation and execution of regulatory strategies for new and existing products across Johnson & Johnson.
We run the whole soup to nuts. Not only are we working on the products, but everything that has to do with the drug. We have to make sure that you understand how to use the drug, how to be able to prescribe certain pieces of information, how to communicate that to the patient.
Now, according to a Johnson & Johnson press release from December 2021, the safety and well-being of those who use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine continues to be our number one priority. Now, for the first time ever, an official from Johnson & Johnson admits to our hidden cameras that the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine was, quote, not safe and effective, unquote. And the company wanted to, quote, just throw the vaccine creation to the wind and see what happens, unquote.
They're like, oh, Joe Biden says that it's safe and effective. But, he didn't know.
There's no proof. I mean, none of that stuff was safe and effective. We didn't do the typical test. The typical process. That's why it takes so long to get a product on market. The typical process is all this clinical trial testing and stuff in a small population. This was just, let's test it on some, lab models, analyze and see if it works and stuff like that, and just throw it to the wind and see what happens.
People didn't know that. Like the patients
That's
getting it, they
what I'm
didn't.
saying. I'm sure somebody's going to get sued for that stuff eventually.
The lead regulatory scientist for Johnson & Johnson went into detail about how the federal government applied heavy pressure on Big Pharma in order to hastily create the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine, encouraging speed over efficacy or safety.
Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products? Like, you shouldn't be surprised that this happened. It was pretty much the government kind of made a deal with pharmaceutical companies and kind of pressured the pharmaceutical companies, because we're not going to say no to the help, like the government. Like the government's like, yo, these three big ass companies, we need help. We need to figure this out. You're solving this problem.
Was that Operation Warp Speed?
I mean, we basically just had a race to figure out who could solve it best. Like, people wanted it. We gave it to them.
The CDC has previously announced they're pulling the J&J vaccine from use in the United States. J&J claims this is due to the vaccine's declining use and the company's strategic shift away from the vaccines. But as you just heard, J&J's own regulatory scientist was well aware of the ineffectiveness of their own COVID vaccine.
There's something side effect that's going to happen. It's more or less, all right, what's the worst side effect that's going to happen? And is that better than the benefit that the consumer is going to get? It's like, that's the interesting thing that I've found about it, because it's like, all right, you know what? Cancer patient's going to die anyway. So quality of life is the question in that instance, as opposed to whether you're curing something. You're not curing anything at that point. It's just, all right, are you going to have a nicer 6 months?
Now, I caught up with Joshua Rye in Toms River, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore, to get clarification on what he meant by his comments on hidden camera. What led him to say this? What led him to tell a total stranger that his product was not safe and effective? Here's a little sneak peek of how this went. This is one of the most extraordinary interactions ever, maybe rivaling the one that I had with the other guy inside Pfizer back 2.5 years ago. Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
And you said that your vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. Where is he going? He's going to run away. He's going in the women's restroom. Are you confused? I am a human man. I am allowed to take a pee in the man's restroom. You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. We have no idea. People, I got it from your mouth.
No.
Stand behind what you said and explain to us what you meant by it. Undercover investigations like these carried out by our OMG undercover journalists are pulling back the veil on the corruption and lies in our government, in our corporations, in the pharmaceutical industry. Remember, sometimes 60, 70, 80% of revenue for cable news organizations and other organizations in the news business come from Big Pharma. The last time we did an undercover investigation into Big Pharma, like Pfizer, just a couple weeks later, I was indefinitely suspended from the organization I created. But we are going to report the news and tell the truth without fear and without favor. But we need you to reach out to our...
That's absolutely insane, guys. I don't have to tell you this, because a lot of times with O'Keefe Media Group and all these other great independent journalists and undercover journalists, we are hearing the truth coming right there from them. And then he posted, James O'Keefe posted this. Johnson & Johnson has removed lead scientist Joshua Rye from their website following our investigation. And it says the company has still not responded to OMG's requests for comment. I just want to let you know, there's that right there. There's before Regulatory Affairs Associate Manager is a part with the Consumer Division of Johnson & Johnson's products, including NDAs, homeopathics, over-the-counter drugs, medical devices, blah, 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 blah. And now that's gone. What I find absolutely amazing is 25 years ago, you would have David Muir coming on tonight. Breaking: Johnson & Johnson lead scientist admits on hidden camera that the vaccine was not safe and effective. That's what you would be having. This is the area we're in. This is the world we're in. They want to hide this information from you. And it's absolutely ridiculous. This should be getting more press and more play than anything that's gone on in the news today. And it's unfortunate that it's not. It's up to you guys. Go over there, share that information out. I'll share it after this video on my X page. But what kind of world are we living in? That they could just come out and plainly admit that. And we've seen this time and time again with these pharmaceutical companies. Again, you were a guinea pig. If you took it, and I know some people had to take it. I know people that had to take it for their jobs. I know people that had to take it for other reasons. And you know what? I know some of those people that are suffering some severe side effects like myocarditis and some other issues. And if we had a real media in this country, and that's what I'm talking about, is not media. I'm talking about when you turn on your TV, you would be hearing about this. You really would. This would be a big one. And I pray for all those that had to take it. Again, we don't know what the 10-year side effects are. We don't know what a lot of these side effects are. We're seeing a lot of turbo cancer now. That's scary. Not saying there's a correlation between the two, but I'm just saying, man, I'm so glad I was on top of this, because I'll tell you what, we were sitting in there. I was reading at night, all this stuff before I think even the name COVID was out there. I was going on different things because I get my information from a lot of places, and we're seeing this stuff. And I want to say it was November of 2019, right around election time. And there's some funny stuff going on in China that's spiking and some searches and stuff. And I start looking. And before anybody was worried, I remember at the end of November, I think it was, or early December, I told Rachel, I don't know what this is. And my exact words were, I'm going to make sure we're stocked up on everything. This is before any panic, before anybody knew what it was. And I said, I'm going to make sure we have some surgical masks, some other stuff. And this is just my thing. And I ordered some stuff. If I would have been smart, I'd be rich right now. I would have bought stock in all these mask companies and everything else that Gavin Newsom spent millions of dollars on. But I knew something was going on. And I remember then we had 15 days to slow the spread. If you remember, we were doing our live streams. We had to do them just on Rumble. We had to go off YouTube because YouTube would censor you. If you said anything, they would block you, ban you. And then once that came out, and I'll never forget my mom, she ended up having obviously some health issues, and her doctor wouldn't see her. And even when she was hospitalized before she passed away, I get this call, and I can't remember if it was Rachel that was at the hospital with her or if it was my mom that called me, and they're like, son, they want to give me the COVID shot. What should I tell them? I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that was the most scariest decision you made, because what if you just by a chance you are wrong? And you know what? Ended up my mom got COVID, gave it to Caden. Caden gave it to us, and we didn't get COVID at the beginning. It took like a year and a half for us to get COVID. And I was everywhere. I was flying back and forth to DC. Plane flights were only $163 round trip from the East Coast to the West Coast. I was everywhere during that time, if you guys remember it. It took like a year and a half. And I probably got it worse than everybody else. My mom didn't get it as bad as me. Rachel didn't get it as bad as me. And when I say I got it bad, I was just wiped out. I never sleep in the day. I slept 2 full days almost. I didn't feel good. That head, that like, you could just tell this is not natural. But So we all know next time, right? Hopefully there's not a next time, but I have a feeling there will be with all this biological warfare and everything else. Check this out. CBP reports June was the lowest month of illegal crosses ever recorded at the southern border, with just 6,072 for the month. The Biden administration routinely had 6,000 in a single day. CBP reports 0 releases of illegal aliens into the U.S. in June compared to 27,776 in June 2024. What a difference a year makes, guys. What a difference a year makes. It says, CBP says June was the second month in a row of 0 releases. What that means, it doesn't mean people are coming over here. There's people, they're catching them. I'm seeing videos of it. Border Patrol's releasing videos, and they're catching little groups of 7, 11 here. The difference is Joe Biden would street release them in San Diego at what was it, the little transit center. They'd be released at an airport so they can go to an NGO, all this stuff. Think about that. 0 releases. That means we processed them to go back home for deportation. They're not released into the United States. Some are still awaiting some stuff, but many of them have went right back. And I think that's great. Most secure border in history. Promises made, promises kept. It doesn't take an act of Congress to enforce existing immigration laws. And you notice what? When they see these reports, they're not arguing. Democrats aren't using this as a talking point, saying this is illegal. They know it's legal. They know that's what Border Patrol was supposed to be doing the entire time. They weren't supposed to be making sandwiches for these folks. They're supposed to be deporting them. You came into the country illegally. What a great win. It won't be highlighted, but we'll highlight it and we'll celebrate it here at the Oreo Express because it's absolutely epic. Epic. I wonder where I was in June 2024. I'd have to go back and look, but I'll tell you what, June 2024, I'm sure I was somewhere near the border, at least within a month of that. They've updated the increase on ICE assaults against them. Now it's been an 830% increase in ICE assaults. It went up to 700, and then more rhetoric, more people calling them Nazis, Gestapos. We even got a great clip here. They're starting to charge some folks that are organizing these protests that are meant to obstruct our federal law enforcement officer. We got an update on that. But it says these are the individuals who risk their lives every day removing dangerous, criminal, illegal aliens from American communities. This is from Homeland Security. Our ICE agents are real people with families and children who wake up each day committed to protecting the homeland. They deserve the gratitude and support from our nation. Amen. Amen. Absolutely incredible. And you see these policies are starting to work. One thing we talked about, I think over 1 million have self-deported. Like either fleeing the United States because they know what's going to happen or use the CBP Home app. I think the last number we heard was 1 million. King 5 News in Seattle posted this. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Alfredo Juarez will self-deport to Mexico in order to get out of the Northwest Detention Center. His attorney said he couldn't bear to be there any longer. Hey, that's 2 thumbs up. That's A-OK right there. Again, rather go back to Mexico. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want policies that discourage people to illegally come into the country. Before, under Joe Biden, you got housing, you got food, you got EBT, some 4 5-star hotels. Those days are over, folks. Those days are absolutely over. Now, this is the one I was talking about when we covered this last couple weeks ago, I think. Let me see if I can find another one. An earlier one. This is great news. Let's see if I can find that. This was on June 11th. Let's see. It says former Spokane City Council member Ben Stuckart is standing in front of an ICE bus blocking it. He says he's the legal guardian of Venezuelan boy seeking asylum. And during an ICE check-in today, the boy was detained. Well, what happened to him today? Former Spokane, Washington City Council President Ben Stuckart has been charged with conspiracy to impede or injure officers after an anti-ICE protest last month. Stuckart organized an anti-ICE protest where he reportedly blocked an illegal alien transport van. We've been asking for this. I think you're going to see much more of this. I think you're going to see a lot of people charged. I think you're going to see some people do some jail time, especially with federal charges. Cannot allow this to happen. You need to send a message quickly. We've seen 800 and something % increase and 830% increase in assaults on ICE officers. Nah, we're done with that. We're going to put those officers' safety. They're out there putting their lives on the line to get these people. And we need to stand behind them. How about this? Let's listen to, I love Stephen Miller, man. Every time I see a video of Stephen Miller, I have to hit that play button. And it's not like that with a lot. Listen to this.
They're championing sex slavery. They're championing child slavery. They're championing labor trafficking. They're championing foreign terrorist organizations. But also they're championing the theft of American dollars, the theft of American lives, and the theft of American dreams. Nobody has the right to invade our country, fill up our emergency rooms, take our health care, take our jobs, take our tax dollars, live an entire life on free welfare. You know, every illegal alien family that Joe Biden and his party imported into this country that has 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, who do you think is paying for their health care? Who do you think is paying for their education? Who do you think is paying for their food, their shelter, their housing, all of it? The working and middle class of this country. We have communities all across this nation that 20 years ago, before the era of open borders, were completely peaceful, completely stable, thriving middle classes. Look at a place like Minneapolis. Post-mass migration, they are unsafe. They are violent. You cannot use the public parks. The education systems don't function. How often have we heard about how the education system in this country is collapsing? Maybe what brought it to the brink of collapse was importing millions upon millions of people from the developing world who are not even literate or fluent in their home languages, who can't even read or write in their home languages, brought here. So you have the violence, you have the social decay, you have the enormous cost. Has ever so great an abuse been heaped upon innocent people as what was done to Americans through a forced policy of mass migration? ICE officers are restoring democracy by effectuating the laws of this country and the mandate delivered when President Trump won his landslide to get the illegal aliens out of this country. And that includes, of course, the criminal aliens. Do you know?
Just absolutely hit the nail on the head. And God bless Stephen Miller. Jane Garner gave a Rumble rant. It says, Oreo Army, I need prayers this week, please. Thanks in advance. Few know what's going on, but I could use everyone's prayers. Everybody gather and pray for Jan Garner. Pray for a great outcome. And again, we'll be praying for you, Jan. Thank you for the Rumble rant too. It is appreciated. So big prayers for Jan, and let the Lord do his work. What else do we got here? Breaking, ABC Los Angeles, undocumented immigrants, they will no longer be eligible for bond hearings if they are detained. It says the Trump administration had declared that millions of undocumented immigrants will not be able to leave ICE custody while they fight deportation.
Immigrants throughout
That's why we're
the
building
process.
all these little alligator Alcatrazes. Take a listen to this. More winning.
Undocumented immigrants, they will no longer be eligible for bond hearings if they are detained. The Trump administration has declared that millions of undocumented immigrants will not be able to leave ICE custody while they fight deportation proceedings in court. In a memo to staff last week, acting ICE Director Todd Lyons instructed agents to hold immigrants throughout the process. The deportation process can take months, sometimes even years.
That's not violating anything. That's how it originally was set up. And again, we've gotten away from law and order in this country. So Let's see if anything else has popped up while we were live, any breaking news or anything. And once again, guys, we are 100% viewer funded. If you would like to help us out, we appreciate it. We could really use it. You can donate to us at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do Zelle transfers, if you do online or mobile banking and just want to do a Zelle transfer, our Zelle address is on our website. Our website is theoreoexpress.com. You go to our homepage, you scroll down, and there's a donate now button. We appreciate the blessings, and it really is a blessing right now, especially now that we got to go get either a new phone or this one repaired. So I'll know more tonight, but from what it sounds like, I could probably upgrade the phone for the same price that is my deductible on my insurance to get a replacement phone. And the new phone has a better camera and just a little bit quicker. This one was already glitching and stuff, but I was like, you know what? I got to decide. I got to go down there tonight and see what's going on. But again, your donations, we appreciate it, and it helps. Let's see. The Pentagon confirms that 2,000 California National Guard members are being withdrawn from the mission to protect federal buildings and personnel that followed protests of immigrations and customs enforcement operations in Los Angeles. See what else we got here. Beto O'Rourke. Beto. This is Aguero's buddy. He's live right now from North Carolina. Is he still trying to get into politics, Beto? Beto, the fake Mexican? Let's see. Another Democrat. Listen to this.
The gay hairdresser who comes to the U.S. seeking asylum, being persecuted. Hey, everyone.
You think this Congressman Robert Garcia is going to be speaking or standing up for an American citizen right now, or an illegal alien?
Hey everyone, it's Congressman Robert Garcia, and I wanted to give everybody an update on Andrew Romero. You probably remember him. He was the gay hairdresser who comes to the U.S. seeking asylum, being persecuted from his home country in Venezuela. He felt that he was. And so we gave him.
Notice how he says he felt that he was. You know how many people in America feel like they're being persecuted? Give me a break. I'm not even going to play the rest. But once again, another Democrat, Robert Garcia, coming out and addressing the nation for what? An illegal alien. But they're both gay, so maybe it's a gay thing. See if there's. Let's see, Ukraine. USC is going to move forward with layoffs as part of a series of financial measures to address what interim President Bong-soo Kim describes as recurring structural deficit. Get rid of them. That's what you got to do. Doge. I was getting cracked up. See, Trump. See, 3 hours ago. Oh, we covered this the other day, but because of Trump and because of deportation and everything else, Mayor Karen Bass is actually bragging. Take a listen.
So for the first time in our city's recent history, homelessness has gone down 2 years in a row, according to the annual point in time count. And I'm happy to report that when I was on my way over here, I got a text message from our governor congratulating Los Angeles for.
Man, you're doing a great job, Karen Bass. I mean, if we could just clone you and put you in every city. Just to let you know, we have zero homelessness where I live. It's not allowed. I live in California. We have a city that offers them shelter, and if they refuse shelter, they can be arrested. Simple. Follow the procedures. See if it doesn't look like anything else is popping off right now, but I will be near the studio tonight. Once again, I want to thank you all for helping us out, for hitting that like button, for sharing this out. It means the world to us. It helps reach more people. And once again, if you guys want to donate, we are 100% viewer funded. You can hit Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do online or mobile banking, head over to our website where we have our Zelle link. It's theoreoexpress.com. Click on the donate now button on the homepage. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed evening. If anything breaks, I think you'll know because we'll hit that live button. And you guys have a good evening. God bless.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.